up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Thank you guys. Aware, there's no sound. I'll fix it now. This is what happens when you're under pressure. But anyway, let's go into turn number one. You see a little bit of a kicker rear there for Paul into turn number two. Little short shift there. The Porsche not really happy here, but now full flat on the power. Now into turn number four. This is quite important because you want to get the car rotated nicely. Little short shift there for Paul as he comes into the right hand. You can hear it. There it is again. Little bit of a run out on the exit, and now as he heads all the way down this inner straights, he's going to go as wide as he can, get the car turned in again, power nice and early. This is where it now gets nice and tricky because you're going to be braking on the corner here, but he keeps that car nice and straight, nice turn in, gets on that power early once again, using the outside of the curb. This is my favorite part of this track. It is flat out for a 1, 2 flat out right-handers, and then quickly on the brakes now down into third gear. Get that car turned in using the curb on the outside, back on the brakes. Really getting that power on nice and easily as he comes now into the last corner. Using the curb on the exit, and that's it. He will cross the line. So a very, very, very interesting track. I personally love it. Others not so much. Marius, good evening. Good evening. How are you?
How are you going, fellas? Sorry I'm a little bit late, but I've got some electricity issues as usual.
No problem.
I made a plan so I can at least join you here in the commentary.
No, fantastic. Well, what I'm going to do is let's just transition to what the actual live screen is talking about. Guys, you missed the intro, so what I'm going to do is while we're getting up and running, let's just do that intro once again. So imagine back on the camera. Welcome everybody. Wednesday night. We did miss 2 weeks, but we are now officially back. We are back to the sprint races. We're at Misano, 2 times 25-minute races. with a 1 lap qualifier. And Morris, you know yourself firsthand what this 1 lap qualifier means.
Yeah, very tricky. You have to find the balance between pushing not too much to the limit, because your lap can be invalidated very, very easily. And of course, having your tires in that perfect spot for that 1 lap is also quite crucial. So yeah, I love it. Puts a nice edge to it.
Then we go and we add in something else, and all we do is we say, well, listen, the guys that qualified, the top 10 from qualifying 1, we can reverse grid you and see how you guys like that. What do you think about that, Marius?
Well, that throws another spanner in the wheel. But yeah, it makes for very exciting racing, and I like the way it mixes things up a little bit.
100%. So at least what happens is, listen, I'm not going to be throwing anybody under the bus anywhere, but I saw somebody saying, as long as I qualify top 10, I will be happy.
Well, on a 1 lap qualifier, I think a top 10 is quite satisfactory, I would say. I would also be quite happy with the top 10 in 1 lap qualifier.
Right, guys, let's just have a quick look at, and you see the guys are not out on the track, because this was the one thing I forgot to mention, is yes, there was a practice, but the guys only have two sets of tires, and those 2 sets of tires can be charred up very, very quickly. So out on the track goes Jude Neville, going to get that lap in nice and early. As well, there's a Paul Venter, Ruan Heineke. It looks like we've got Frankie, a new driver here this evening. Okay, guys, thank you so much for the heads up on the sound. If I hadn't have seen that, I would have been talking for the next 20 minutes. Okay, that's not the one I wanted. So Morris, I'm just checking that you're able to see the screen okay?
Yeah, no, I've got the eyes on everything.
So that is Jude Neville. He was the first driver out here this evening. And if we look at the top corner, we can see 14 corners here for the Misano track.
Is that Jude Neville in a Mercedes?
That is correct. So there was a change of car, and he has forfeited all his points. And that's because some of the guys have decided to move on. He is not the only one.
That's interesting.
As we go down the order, there's Paul Venter. We also know him for a Porsche, but there he is in a Ferrari. Ruan Heineke in a Ferrari.
I noticed he changed to the Ferrari in the previous races.
And here we got a Q&A Duplessis, seeing that livery hasn't loaded. So Q&A, don't worry, we'll definitely check that out and see what went wrong there. Then a Bjerkes, Frankie joining us, and our newest subscriber. Thank you very much for that. Terry Wolford in his AMG. Wolford Robson, he's out on track, get ready for his flyer. Chris Heineke in the Porsche there, as well as Duplessis, and that is Q&A just behind him.
Right, this is a nice tight and twisty track. What you want is a nice and nimble car, and you want one that can accelerate from low speed.
So what I'm seeing is, looks like Jude invalidated sector 1, so I think he's going to be starting from the back. Another driver that has joined us, and this is Jobs. We know him as Jobs, but his name is Jabulani. He tried to join us last week, but unfortunately missed the registration for SimGrid. Okay, it is fast and furious in terms of who's currently out. So that's Marcus Steyn, so he's going to get ready to put in a lap. So Paul Fenter has done a lap. This will be the lap that now counts. So Paul Fenter will cross the line. Let's just get what that best time is. So there, Paul Fenter, 135.4. Rowan Heineke, 136.4.
I must say that 135 is a very good one-lap quality. It would be interesting to see what...
so I saw Mohat, sorry, was on Mohat was on his out lap, so 137 there for Frankie. Wilfred, he's on a flying lap now, so he will come to the line. He crosses and goes second, indeed.
Also with a 135, very good.
And Ryan Oatsons has joined us here at SARCO, and that puts him up at the top. First place there, 134.1 for him. Next to
that's lightning quick.
So we've got Andre Serodio. He's come back and joined us. Agamemnon Veronis, it looks like he has done an out lap, so this will be the lap that counts. He crosses line at 137.8. Next in line is 80 Bond. He gets himself 8th. Greg Campbell approves of this. Greg, evening. Welcome to the show, I suppose.
Marcus Steyn coming out of the last corner. Let's see where he puts himself.
So Steyn goes second. Great time there for him.
Wow, it's so close up there.
Jubs now crosses the line, so he's now currently out on his out lap. Mohat Musa right behind Stephen Smith. Mohat's currently on a flying lap. I just hope that Stephen is not going to impact him. But that is part of the challenge that we have, is just finding that gap. So Mohat, he crosses the line and he goes to 4th place.
All right, there's a couple of guys that Charles Wilken has not gone out yet.
Just want to catch that. So there's Nicholas Manuel, newcomer as well. Looks like his livery is loaded as well. Andre now currently on a flying lap, as he now comes towards turn number 14. And just behind him, that is Puzi. So Andre goes 3rd. So Puzi now on a out lap there for him. Wayne Bond getting ready to put on his time. So currently down in 24th place for his out lap. He crosses the line and he goes to 10th place. Talk about an interesting qualifying. Mr. Len Neary. So I did spend a little bit of time with him, just taking him through how I would drive Misano. So it'll be interesting to see how he fares here this evening.
Yeah, Charles Wilken is on his out lap.
You can see just giving himself a little bit of space between himself and Nicholas Manuel. A very nice looking Skechers livery. It is essentially
Valentino Rossi's livery,
but in blue on a BMW. Quite like that, actually. So Nicholas will now cross the line, and where does that put him?
134.4, that is a good time.
So that puts Nicholas up into 2nd place. Next to cross the line is Tyler Humphreys. He's going to be putting on his out laps. He is now currently on a hot lap. Next person to cross the line will be Len Neary. So Len now approaching turn number 12. Get that car down into first gear, Len. Get that nose turned in. Little lift there, I'm sure. through turn number 13. Now hard on the brakes now into 14. And then get that power on as early as possible. And Len will now approach the line. And that will put him up into... stays 15th place. So Flip van Zyl now out on track. He's going to be doing his flyer from now, as well as Neil Greening out on a flyer. Next man to put in a lap is Charles Wilken.
Corner 12, 13. A slight lift. Using all the track on the exit. Let's see where that puts him.
So Charles goes first, 133.8.
That is a brilliant lap.
So Charles really doing well there to get that car ready, get those tires at temperature, and throwing in an absolute crack of a lap. Tyler into 6th place there for him. Are we going to?
I think Worship is still on an odd lap. Yeah, using all the track.
So that was Michael Strivik who just missed him going through, but Michael is now on his flying lap. There is only 5 minutes left of this session, and then we'll be getting into the races themselves. But Flip now coming through turn number 12 there for him, using as much of that exit to set himself up for 13. And you can hear him really asking a lot of that Ferrari as he comes and he crosses the line. He will put himself in a 9th position. So that was Len who was on track, and the camera just picked him up. So Michael Struvik in the Lamborghini actually came from driving McLaren the last couple of seasons, and definitely seems to have tamed this bull very nicely, having come from that McLaren. We are expecting him somewhere up around that 8th, 9th position there somewhere. It's a great exit there for Michael as he approaches the line. Or where does that put him? 7th place. Great result there for Michael. Gregor Worship in his AMG. He now approaches the line and he crosses the line, and I've got him at 7th place. So just pushing Michael down to 8th place. And ladies and gentlemen, that looks like that is the qualifying. So let's just run down the order quickly. It is Charles Wilken, then Ryan 2nd, and Nicholas Manuel in 3rd, Marcus Steyn 4th, Andre Sorodio in 5th, Tyler Humphreys 6th, Gregor Worship in 7th, Michael Struvik in 8th, Paul Fenter in 9th, Mohat Musa in 10th place, Flip van Zyl, he's in 11th, Robert Wilfred in 12th, Chris Heineke, he finds himself in 13th place, Puki Zede in 14th, Ruan Heineke 2 places behind his brother in 15th. Wayne Bond, 16th place for him. Memo Avronis in 17th place. Frankie Bucas, he's in 18th place. 80 in 19th. Len Neary puts himself in 20th. And that is ahead of Neil Greening in 21st. Jude in 22nd. Jubs finds himself 23rd. Kuan Duplessis 24, Christian Duploy in 25th, Terry 26th, and Stephen Smith down in 27th place. Man, oh man, talk about a busy.
Oh, nice to see Stephen on track.
So 2 minutes left of this qualifying. We can quickly just run down some of the messages that are coming in. So we've got Frankie saying hashtag we are pace, good luck gents. Ervia Marais saying nice to see Ryan Otens and a few others around. Welcome gents. Ervia is supposed to have been racing this evening, but unfortunately are not here due to load shedding. Ruin Heineke is saying, let's go, boys. Lala. Hi, Ruin. Your cheerleaders are ready. Ruin, you mentioned some peanuts here, but no coconuts. What's going on? And we've got Bernard Charurumbura. I hope I got that right, saying, let's go, Jobs. And Adrian is saying, huge echo on the second mic, Dylan. So, Adrian, is that on Morris' side? Because I am not hearing it. Okay, 1 minute left to go, guys, and then we will go racing.
What is that about my feed?
No, they're just saying that it just sounds like there's an echo on your side. So I don't know, maybe Marius, if you just exit and then just come back in, hopefully that just might sort some of that out.
Let's see.
But a big thank you to everybody who's joining us on both our YouTube and Facebook pages. Guys, thank you very much for showing the support. We did get a like from Sean Larrero. Again, Sean, you should be racing, as well as Ryan Abrams. How's it, Ryan? I actually had a conversation with Richie today. And I actually did think of you, Ryan. So, evening. Well, gentlemen, here we go. And ladies, sorry, I know there are ladies currently on the stream. But that was the end of the qualifying. We are now just waiting for everybody to get those setups reloaded and ready to go. And during the driver's briefing, we did tell everyone, guys, you're going to be too wide for at least the first 6 corners. Just be aware of it. Let's rather just make sure we're clean and get to the racing later on.
Yeah, the first part of the sector 1 is very, very tight and twisty. And then it shoots out like a cork from corner 6 onwards.
And that's just the thing, is that if you understand that there are people to your left and right and you're going through these corners, we understand that the starts, you're still waiting for those tires to come in. Essentially what happens is that everybody is generally going slower than the full race pace. Just be aware of that. Just be aware that the guys are going to be braking into turn 1 and 2, but there's also that huge concertina that happens into turn 4. And it's just about being patient. I don't know, in a sprint race, you want to get out to the front, you want to make up as many places as possible, but that's also how you essentially ruin that race.
Yeah, it's about keeping all your wits. Stay calm.
And in the heat of the moment, holding your wits is not as easy as can be.
It comes with experience.
It's easy to throw a couple of coconuts out. All right, everybody, here we go. So Charles Wilkin leads the race, and yes, this is going to be hectic. But we're hoping that everybody gets through the first corners nice and clearly. But that is green light, and we are racing. Go, go, go here at Misano. 2 places.
The inside. Whoa. Oopsie, there's the first on the. Let's hope that doesn't cause a. No, it doesn't, luckily.
So far everybody is through. Ooh. Charles Wilkin in the background there, it looks like he has gone off.
Yeah, there was a little tap between him and the second place. I don't know how that...
so we are able to just quickly go back there and see.
Here we go. Yeah, I don't know how Shaw got.
Oh!
He got.
So that was just that combination of the rejoining and unfortunately contact there. But now looks like we are stable, but it's still very, very too wide. And this is now coming out of turn number 8 down this back straight. And Tyler right on the back of Mohat Musa, but even further down you see Paul Fenter and Marcus Steyn too wide there with Ryan Oates right behind them.
Oh, there's a touch there.
Ryan's going to sneak up on that inside. They are going to be too wide once again, and looks like Orion is going to get up there, but still too wide, holding each other's line there, giving each other the space. That's what we want, and now they can get back to the racing. But Paul Fenter now under lots and lots of pressure, because that's Michael Struvic that's now coming into play now. He's going to have to just yield that place, and right behind him, whoa, big dive in there.
Ooh, 3 cars out there. That corner has been the nemesis so far in this race. Corner number 2.
So we see that was Pookie that actually had a big lunge into that corner. As we just go back 30 seconds, we can see coming down the main straight here, crossing the start-finish line, just getting himself set up, going around the outside, but then just so late on the brakes and having a massive lunge there.
A little bit of a lunge there, yeah.
But now at least we can get back to our normal cameras.
Yeah, and Nicolas Manuel in his Rossi 46 colors are got a 1 point, well, more than a second lead already. So he benefited greatly from those contacts on corner number 2.
So where there is a great move, that's Mohat Musa going up on the inside, or yeah. So he has taken that place because he was in 4th place, so he has been able to move up the orders. I'm seeing Mr. Frankie here getting lots and lots of a little yellow cautions coming up against his name, so definitely in the wars there for him. And currently, fastest man on the track is Mohat Musa.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of clean air ahead of him, and I think he's putting pedal to the metal now to catch up.
So there is a battle further down the field between Pookie Kewen and Christian Duploy. This is where the guys need to just be patient, try not make that contact, because then all it does is, because the guys are so close together, what it does is it just drops everybody down more and more places. It's about being patient. Pookie,
there's another
little contact there for Pookie right behind Christian Deploy.
Yeah, I don't know if Pookie has any damage, but he's making lots of contact at the moment. Now the tricky part of the track when you're following someone is right here, corner 10, 11, 12, which take a little bit of your front away.
And Kewen is just a little bit wide there. Now he's going to have Christian that's going to go around the outside. So great move there for him.
Yeah, he could not get out of the corner. He was a little bit eager on the throttle, and that cost him a position.
So just having a look back, because we've got Wayne Bond, who's now really applying the pressure here on Frankie. And it looks like it's the two Bonds are having a go. No, that is Shaw Wilkin in the background there.
That car looks like it's seen a little bit of contact. Who is that right behind him? Oh, that's Ron Heineke. Yeah, you can see the BM is struggling a bit there. It's probably because of some damage.
So here we have Shaw Walken, and this is him currently in 27th place. So finding himself up a lap down between the guys in 16th and 17th place. But mighty battles happening all the way down the field. This is Orion Oten's having a look there from behind Flip van Sail, and right behind him there is something that has happened further down, and that is a memo off in the background there. Let's just have a look at the replay. So we've got
that was going to happen there where the Ferrari came out behind him and then you switched the camera.
So that was Russell. Yeah, oh my gosh, and it looked like he couldn't see who had collected there.
That was the Marlboro Ferrari that nicked him in his rear. That's almost an exact copy of what happened to you last night.
Yes.
Someone that cuts too fine coming out behind someone.
So in shot is Jubs having a look on the inside of Stephen Smith. And these guys are down at through turn number 6 now. Michael Struvik putting lots and lots of pressure here on Adrian Bond, trying to go around the outside. Is there going to be enough space there for that overtake through turn number 7?
Well, he's on the inside for the next series of corners, so he should have this corner. Yeah.
So that was an extremely well-placed move there. And Michael Struvik moving up a place. But here we go, middle of the pack, 10th, 11th and 12th. Ryan Oten's around the outside of Wilfred. Do you want to just check in with our race leader? But before we do that, we got Ruan Heineke coming up to the back of Frankie, and Frankie's not looking comfortable in that Aston at all. It just looks like he's unable to get that power down. The rear is looking a little bit loose.
Yeah, I think that it looks like maybe tire pressures that's not in the right range. He's struggling a lot. Maybe overheating a little bit already. Hope he went wide there.
So that opened up the door there, and that was an easy overtake there in the end there for Ruan.
Right, Mr. Manuel is still...
So we managed to get a great shot of first, second, third and fourth coming through. And Mr. Worship here trying to close up on the back of Tyler. He was a little bit closer when it got my attention, but it does look like Tyler is just edging away ever so slightly.
Yes, Marcus Steyn putting lots of pressure onto Worship.
But there, as I jump back here to watch Kieran get right behind Ryan Oates, we see Mohat Musa going into the pits.
Whoa, that's interesting. I wonder if he had some damage.
So side by side between Mr. Worship and Tyler. And here comes Marcus Steyn trying to go around the outside. It looks like he's got the run.
He wants to put it on the inside of both of them.
And it looks
Does
like
he do it?
It looks like he... that was close. But now the 3 wide as they head towards turn number 6. And I'm not sure how Marcus was able to sneak that car through. But now 3 wide again into... Absolutely crazy.
Well, now we're coming to that series of corners where you do not want to be 3 wide.
Oh,
That's
too wide between Marcus and Tyler. But looks like Marcus has got the inside here, and he should be able to win the corner coming
yes.
into turn number 8.
Wow, he went deep on the brakes there. He was probably trying to brake as late as possible, and it worked.
And there's Mr. Worship managing to get himself around Tyler. And now Tyler's going to have Paul Fenter right up behind him.
Wow, this is looking to be an enormous battle between these 5 cars. Or 6 cars.
It looked like that was Paul Fenter going a little bit wide, which is now allowing Chris Heineke into the party.
Oh, again too wide.
And now Q and Deploy, Chris and Deploy, putting a nose in there, and Paul out on the rumbles. That's going to slow him up.
Yeah,
So
Paul did well there. Paul did very well there to close off that corner. Heineke should just be a little bit patient. I know in a short race like this, you know, patience isn't always a virtue. You have to make you only have so much time to make a move. But let's see what they do in these fast corners again.
So here we go through the fast back section, and Lala saying, oh my gosh, that tonight's drivers are so aggressive. Yes, they are, but it is making for some absolutely incredible action.
Yeah, when you have only 25 minutes, you go flat out.
Flat out, bud. Oh, Mr. Radloff, he's supposed to be here this evening. And that's Mr.
So
Flat
nice.
Out himself.
Yeah.
So Chris Heineke having a little show there on the inside to Paul. You can see how much of that outside curb the guys are using to set themselves up for turn number 1.
Something. Wow, all those drivers are still within a second of each other.
Absolutely
that
incredible.
Pack is very, very close. I see down by Flip, Van Sale, he's closely followed by Russell. Musa is closely followed by Heineke. So there's a couple of battles, potential. Ooh, who went off there? That's a chic Ferrari.
That was Len Neary, so I think he might have just seen the guys approaching him and just
got out the way.
Yeah, threw caution to the wind and got out the way there.
Right, yes, Mr. Russell in the Marlboro.
But as I was watching, I know that you were going to say something about the Marlboro colours, but Chris Heineke right on the back now of Paul Fenter.
Yeah, Paul Fenter has got lots of pressure from Heineke.
Oh!
And Paul is on the limit.
And that's
lifting around that corner. He almost kept it planted.
Well, I can tell you something that's not planted anymore, and that's that braking marker. I wonder how many drivers it's going to catch later on.
Yeah, that's why I usually don't use them as braking markers. I know they can go.
So the action still happening. There's that 2 sets of 3-way horses running here, which is making things absolutely incredible. And I see that Ryan Oatsons has got a place back here from Chris, so it looked like Chris was able to get up there. No, because it was Chris Heineke who was chasing down Paul, and he's now Paul's ahead of Ryan now. So
there he is. Yes, Chris Heineke must have made a little mistake.
But there's still this pressure here from Christian Deploy, and right on the back of Tyler Humphries. Oh, this is not a place you want to be so close.
Yeah, no, the only place where you might, if you have the inside, is into corner 12, where they are now.
So there's something there that caught my eye, but it was not what I thought it was.
Christian Deploy had to look at the back of these guys for a while now, but I can tell you Mr. Worship is defending ferociously, closing off all the lines.
But this is where it starts getting frustrating for the guys behind, because you're just not able to get the nose in. We've got something, Marcus Stain just showed that he was running a little bit slower, but he is still okay. They're in second place. It just looks like that AMG is so quick in the straight line, and the Lamborghinis then start making up the gap there once they start going to the tight twisty stuff. There is Mr. Flip Van Zyl right up on the back of Pookie ZA. So Flip actually having lost a place from where he had qualified. Thank you very much, Lucas, saying that this is great racing. Thanks, God. Only a pleasure. I do want to see if there is an overtake here, but I need to see what's happening further up, because we now have Orion Oaten's right on the back of Paul Venter.
I'm telling you, Paul, after this race, he knows he's been racing.
And what it's telling me is that there was a position change there between Paul and Ryan. But now it's given Paul the place back. And then just not even half a 2 second, not even a second away is the battle between Christian and Tyler. It does look like Mr. Worship is now starting to get away. Oh, look to the inside, but no position change. What I have not noticed is this. Out in front is Andre Serodio. Nicholas is not on my timing screen anymore. So we've got Andre in first, Marcus in second, Mr. Worship in third. It's then Tyler Humphreys in fourth place, with Christian Deploy in third. In fourth, apologies. Fifth. Yeah. Ryan has finally got himself ahead of Paul Venter. Let's see if we can just grab to see where it happened. So here on the replay, through the quick stuff, Ryan made a great lunge on the inside, just snuck the car on there, just getting Paul out on the marbles, and stuck up on the inside there through turn 12. So still the battle of the Lamborghinis, and this is for fourth and fifth place. Will Christian have a run? Because now what's happening is, between the battle here, is he is starting to allow Ryan Paul as well as Chris Heineke into the party. But there we go, Christian on the inside, out braking himself. Tyler dives up on the inside, a little cut back there, and that's going to impact Tyler's exit speed, because the two cars behind him are going to have the right exit, which is now going to allow them to get the run on him. And can Ryan set up the overtake like he did on Paul here on the Lamborghini ahead of him?
Can you hear me, Dylan?
Yes, I can now.
Okay, I'm back. Right, sorry about that.
Oh, Tyler not able to get the power on. He's got Ryan on his inside. He has to leave the space, and Orion goes through now into the last corner. Paul Venter having a look on the inside. Right behind him is Chris Heineke. Tyler just able to hang on to that place. But now it is Paul and Chris. Chris on the outside of Paul.
Whoa, he's going around the outside. That's pretty awesome.
Whoa. But
he went a bit deep into corner one, so his exit was compromised, and Paul survives another corner. He's been fighting this whole race.
4 minutes left of this race, so 3 laps, and that will be the end of it. And the man out in front, Andre, currently fastest man on the track. He has put up that fastest lap of a 1:33.9 and is 10 seconds clear of the man in second place, Marcus Steyn.
Listen, I missed what happened to the guy that was in front.
So I was basically talking to you, say somehow I missed it too, but I didn't see him on the timing, so possibly he's load shedding, because I didn't see that he was being challenged for the positions or anything, and it just happened that he was no longer there.
Well, yeah, he was a couple of seconds ahead.
So far this is the closest battle, and I think we do need that just for a little bit of a breather. Sheesh, like. It has been some crazy racing. But Chris, now...
Venter, these 3 guys, Humphries, Venter and Heineke, are still battling. There's still another, 2 laps?
2 laps to go, at least, yeah. So guys, I do see that there is an error there on our track map. We will get that sorted. Apologies for that.
Corner 14, that's shows a 1.
You see the 4 has basically just moved underneath that, but we will get it fixed for the next race. Apologies.
Whoa, there Paul Venter goes for it. Humphrey went a little bit deep there, and Paul overtakes. That was a good overtake. I think Humphreys went a little bit deep there into that corner, and that left the door open. Now we're at these fast corners, and Humphreys are putting it on the inside. Very clever, because he'll have corner 12. Oh, a little contact there, not too serious.
Side by side now, Chris and Paul. Side by side, Chris just backs off, allows him to go through.
You can see that traction control working overtime as they come on the throttle out of that slow corner.
Oh, Paul is pushing as hard as he can there.
Oh, he is angry. Let me tell you something. He had that position and he lost it again. He's gritting on his teeth.
So Mohamed Musa around the outside will get that place over Adrian Bond. So still Tyler, Paul and Chris Heineke still fighting for this last place. Absolutely incredible racing happening here. But is there a last attempt here for Christian? Because it looks like Mr. Worship has gone wide. And Christian able to sneak up on the inside there. But now he's going to be on the outside for the run-up on the back straight. Is he going to be able to get that exit?
Oh, that Merc had a good exit there. And right in the wings there.
So this is, and that AMG is just so quick in the straight line. But you can see Ryan right up behind Christian now. And this has been Ryan's move the entire evening. Just sneaking up on the inside. Did give us a little notice there that there was some contact there. But that is the race leader. Andre crosses the line in first place. Great drive there for him. I'm sure he'll be happy with that result. Marcus in second. Mr. Worship in third, with Ryan fourth, Christian in fifth place. Tyler will come home in fifth with Chris. Tyler sixth, Chris seventh, Paul eighth, Wilfred Robson, he comes home in ninth place. It looks like Flip and Sal has just got that place through that last corner.
Yeah, Paul Fenton must have lost that position under the last corner.
Kewan in 11th, Mohat, he will come home in 12th place. Wayne 13th, Aiden 14th, Pookie 15th, AD, he's setting up to come home in 16th place. Neil, a 17th place there for him as he's coming into around the back end of the track. Stephen in 18th place. We will have Jubs already crossed the line in 19th. Frankie in 20th. Len Neri 21. And in the pits we have Michael Struvik, Memo Veronis, Terry Wilfred, Shaw Wilkin, and then Jude Neville having not started the race.
That was a very eventful race. Good battles. A little bit of a argy-bargy in that second corner in the first two laps. But after that, the battles were phenomenal. I think Paul will have to do 2 shots to be ready now for the next race.
Most definitely. And I'm pretty sure that Paul is still saying, I can't believe there is still another race. And that's because it was so intense.
Yeah, no, it was. Those guys were battling from the word go.
So guys, we are just waiting for the next server, well, for the next server to load up. And then remember, we will be going into the reverse grid for the top 10, which once again makes things extremely interesting.
That would put Flip in pole, Robson second, Paul Venter in third, Chris Heineke, Humphries, Deploy sixth, Otten seventh, Worship eighth, Stay ninth, and Rodia 10th.
So yes, it will be extremely interesting, and I'm sure Paul is going to be happy with that start.
Yes, I think that would be a little energy for that next race. This is a track that's actually very difficult to pass in, and I've seen lots of overtakes so far, so that's quite exciting.
Alright, well, let's just get out of the server so we can wait for the next race. Yeah, so extremely crazy racing there so far. But man, oh man, to have those guys on that limit for so long, I'm sure that the guys are happy that it's going to take just like 3 or 4 minutes to get the other server up and running, and then we'll get back to the racing.
Yeah, we did not see what happened to the leader. I did not see why Musa went into the pits.
So I'm sure we can just ask on the stream, guys, if you know what happened to Nicholas, please let us know. If he is watching, we just want to know what happened there, as well as Mohat. I did see there was a comment that actually came through by Jean saying it was probably a drive-through. And we do understand the track limits of this track. They are there are a few that can definitely catch you by surprise.
It would also be interesting to see if Wilke Shaw can fight his way back up through the pack, seeing that this track is not very friendly on passing.
That is true. Guys, we will be back shortly. We are just waiting for the server to come up. And while we have this little intermission, I can get the track map sorted out.
Yeah, now it's changed. Now it's got 15.
Now it is correct.
No, it's actually now there's 15 corners instead of 14.
Yes, because what had happened is that there was an error.
And corner 9 is way wide off the track. That's interesting.
Oh, there it is. What the hell? Hold on, let me just check. Maybe it's just picking this up as a duplicate. See, guys, this is what happens on live TV. Anything can happen.
If you refresh your server list, will it not?
Yeah, let's just check that quickly. There we go. We are good to go.
Right. Let's see how they navigate corner 1 and 2 and 3 on take 2.
Indeed.
The positions there, are that automatically now in their positions where they're supposed to be?
So they should be, yes. And that would be out of the qualifying. It would be reverse grid.
Oh, the qualifying reverse grid, not the race result reverse grid.
Qualifying reverse grid, correct.
Oh, right. So my top 10 were totally wrong.
Okay, that should allow me to get into the drive position. There we go.
Am I supposed to see the ACC grid and the overlay grid?
No, because what happens is every time you
Oh,
go out of
yeah.
the server,
Okay.
every time I go out of that server, is that everything has to be reset. So
Okay, there it's gone now, yeah. Okay.
you should be seeing it as it should be.
Okay, let's see what the top 10 is now. That's Paul actually second. And they're away.
And that is race number 2. Ooh, just about 3 wide again. Going through the corner. Some guys just woof. Some big contact there in the background.
Yeah.
But out in front is Mohat is away. Andres just dropping down a few places there. You can just see giving the guys some space. A little bit of contact there as we see Orion with Chris Heineken now moving up shoal back down one position.
Yeah, there was contact with him and
so side by side is Shoal and Chris Heineken as they now head into now the corrected turn number 7.
this is where they shoot out and then those corner 10, 11, 12.
Nice long single file there, and you can just see how quick it is here with a look on the inside there by Marcus Steyn, but just not close enough to make a move. Flip Van Zyl gets Christian Deploy up on his inside, but now Flip will be on the inside, having to break it, just yielding that position. Terry Wolford getting lots and lots of pressure by McEwen behind him, as well as Neil Greening, as well as Russell. We see Nicholas Manuel is back on track.
He must have had a disconnection.
So Marcus and Heineke, the big battle here between these two teammates.
Okay, so Charles Wilkin got away from that pack.
You can see there that green Lamborghini just stretching its legs a little bit out in front. And Nicholas now on the back of Mr. Worship. Great move to the inside. Nicholas is allowed through.
Yeah, that was good braking.
And Christian Deploy getting ahead of Marcus Steyn. Marcus running a little bit wide. Christian going through. Looked like that was a change of positions again. McEwen now getting himself up ahead of Terry. Wilfred Robson going very, very wide on the outside there. I wonder if that was any contact there. You can see he is on the outside, trying to go around the outside here of Adrian Bond on his inside. And as he comes into the next braking zone, a move to the inside. That was actually quite a, I was going to say a great move, but just running out of some track there.
Yeah, he went to the grass, over the track and into that chic Mercedes.
So that was Andres Rodeo getting ahead of Michael Struvic. Puki Zeda, see that he's just moved himself up one place ahead of Frankie Bjerkes. And Orion right up the back of Mr. Worship there in that AMG. But we know this AMG has legs on these straights. And you can see already opening up a little bit of a gap there. Talking about gaps, there you go.
I just wanted to say, if you could, there we go. Right, Musa has not got rid of Paul. Oh, Worship is really putting lots of pressure on Ottens.
Well, it looks like
And
just
Wilken is now caught up with Struwig, so there's an ensuing battle. And Du Plessis is right on top of Beekes as well. So there's a couple of very close battles going on, as we would expect in the first couple of laps. Then we'll see some groups appearing.
And then we say that they're generally spread out, but if you look at the last race, there wasn't much spreading out there. That was still from...
Yeah, there were some 4 or 5 car groups that were developing great battles. But this is looking to become a nice one. These are about 7 cars. That's in a possible battle. Wow. Deploy is really putting pressure on Shaw. Wilken, which relieves Struwig a little bit. Worship is now right on Serodio's.
It was actually Serodio that got past Worship, so that's yes. Worship now dropping down, and now that's put Michael Struwig right on the back of him. But Scholl now looks like he's got this place going around the outside there, so a great move there for Scholl.
Whoa. Scholl is very fast through that corner. It almost caught him out. Deploy putting his car on the inside there. He decided to slot in behind. Oh, he's going for the inside. Great on the brakes. And he takes the position.
Oh, that was a great move there by him. Struwig now just dropping down a little bit.
Charles Wilken is really putting lots of pressure on Worship. They're using all the track on the entrance to that corner, corner 1. Worship is very, very good in the first sector of this track. Okay, Musa, I see, has pulled a 2.8 second lead out of Venter. And Venter is under pressure again. Otten is about to make a move on Venter.
And
he did.
He actually did.
Otten, yes, Otten overtook him.
So we did see it coming. We can actually just go back quickly and just have a look there. So it looks like Paul didn't quite get the exit that he wanted. And Ryan...
the inside, yeah, it seems.
Yep, Ryan just set him up, slots it up on the inside, and was able to make that move.
Sneaking it in there.
So now the battle starts heating up further up the order, because Andre is now right behind Nicholas. Lamborghini versus BMW.
He's going for the inside. Whoa, he decides against it, thank goodness.
Just had a little show.
Just showing, making that rear view mirror red from that Lambo. Must be quite intimidating.
Especially when you're coming up onto the brakes and then you see this Lamborghini right behind you. So the next person that Worship is going to have to deal with is Charles Wilken. Ooh, running a little bit wide on the exit there.
Yeah.
But it looks like he is just protecting that inside. You're going to have to brake in the straight line. Charles will be able to go around the outside, able to brake a little bit later. That should give him the exit now.
He did it. Well done. Yeah, taking the outside on that previous corner will put you on the inside of this corner if you do it right. So that is a very viable move. Now let's see how quick Charles can catch up.
So we will definitely keep our eyes on that, but just wanted to jump back because even though we are down looking at 19, 20 and 21st place, is that these guys are still having a crazy battle. That's Wolford, Robson. Oh, as Jubbs goes a little bit wide on the marbles, that's going to allow Wayne Bond to sneak up there on the inside and make that an easy overtake in the end.
Yeah, a little bit of understeer there. I know that corner is prone for that. You want to turn and brake at the same time. It's a very tricky corner to brake in, to keep a straight line on the braking. Lots of pressure from Serodio. And they're both putting lots of pressure on Paul Venter. Paul Venter does not have it easy so far in these 2 races. But he's going to fight tooth. Oh, there, Manuel goes for the inside. Paul is on the outside. If he can keep it flat, he can still salvage this. Yes.
So now trying to go around the outside, but all that's doing is just allowing Andre to creep his way up there. And there comes the ploy in the background. So Christian now coming to join this little battle here for the last spots up on the podium. Through the fast section now at the back through 10, 11 and 12. Fencer now on the inside. I wonder if this is the lesson from Mr. Ryan Oattens that Paul has now learned. No, that's the rodeo going right up on the back of Manuel and collecting them. And now that's allowed Christian deploy that free space to then head up on the inside. And he's going to go up, but that doesn't look like they're done just yet. Now 3 wide.
I feel so sorry for Paul Venter. He innocently got nudged out of position there.
So it looks like Paul's going to be able to sneak that around the outside. Just not able to get their car hooked up. And that's purely because he took a much tighter line. So crazy battles all over the place now. And I'd say definitely the man under the most pressure today is Paul Venter.
Yeah, no, he's been after tonight, you can truly say he's been in a battle through the walls. Marcus Steyn is quickly catching up to Worship as well. Kind of forgot about him, but he's on his way to join this pack. Whoa, and Paul tries to avoid, and he couldn't. He was a little bit late on the brakes there, caught him out. He tried to avoid Serodio, but he couldn't.
Let's just have another view at that.
Yeah, I think I first thought Serodio broke a brake a little bit earlier, but I think maybe Paul just misjudged it in there a little bit. He went to take him there.
Yeah, it just didn't get the end of that, I'm afraid. So
yeah, it looked like Paul went a little bit hot in there.
Yeah, and just by him hanging back and letting Serodio take that place back, that does show that he did feel that was definitely on him.
Yeah, no, he really tried to, not hit him, but he could not. What happened to Charles Wilkin that he's down in 18th place? I did not see what happened there.
So
no, he's in 18th.
Possibly a drive-through penalty, perhaps?
I could not say. There's so many battles going on.
So what I'm seeing, there we go. So this looks like it is drive-through penalty for car 200, which would have been Charles Wilkin.
Okay, so he must have exceeded track limits a little bit. One time too many.
Yep.
There's Jude Neville. I did not see him in the first race. Something happened in the first race with Jude. On the rear of Pookie. Jude Neville really trying to get the inside there, cutting a little bit of corners, but he could not do it.
That's looking for every single little inch of
He
track
was
there.
really trying to get the inside into that corner 12, or is it 13?
So another little battle that's ensuing, and that's Terry Wolfer going up on the inside of Mr. Bond there. So that's Wayne.
Nice move. Len Neary.
So Len hasn't had a really good race here this evening. You can see 7 places down, so you did qualify in 19th place, but is now currently only circulating in 26th position. Looks like Scholl will get another place here on the back of Wayne. 0.2 of a second, pretty easy in the end there.
Yeah, he's chasing down Terry Wolford.
But we have to just go to the front here, because now as we go through the fast right hand is flat out here. It is Christian that gets up into a 3rd place, and Nicholas Manuel just dropping down.
Oh, you must be careful getting that track limits.
So Manuel right on the back there. Ooh.
Musa has also fallen back a bit. I think he's got pressure now from 2nd place.
Just wanted to see this chain of events. Oh, that was Scholl, and doing the Ryan Oaten's having a go there in through turn number 12, and Scholl now right on the back. At the same time, Chris Heineke has moved ahead of Marcus Steyn. Just seen that come up on our. Let's just see if we can grab a replay of that. So Chris was quite far back in 6th place. It looks like it was, yeah, there we go. So it was Marcus that did go off a little bit wide there. But here we go. This is the battle now for 1st place. 8 minutes left to go, and it is Ryan Oaten's right on the back of Mohat Musa.
Yeah, Musa must have made a little mistake somewhere, because he had a couple of second lead at one stage. Oh, big pressure from Ottens.
Just the way we like it.
Yeah, no, this is what we want to see. Let's see what Musa is going to do. He's probably going to keep it defensive in these tight first 2 corners.
Oh, great move there by Ryan, just sneaking through there.
That was a bold move, and it worked, and it was a good move. Very solid. And Musa has got his work cut out for him now. Marcus Steyn under pressure from Serodio.
Oof, you can see both of them getting on the power, and both of them leaving some black marks as those tires just lost a little bit of traction. It's absolutely fast-paced action as Serodio goes up on the inside. But does Marcus have the drive through the Foster outside line there? Oh, Serodio backing out on that move. Just realized that Marcus was right in that braking zone.
That is almost copy what happened to Paul. It's very easy to go into that corner a little bit hot, because your steering is slightly turned, and when you come on the brakes you understeer greatly there, and it doesn't brake, of course. Okay, Musa is not letting this go. Terry Wilfred is under pressure from two guys, Bond and Robson.
Oof. And we did see Terry getting ahead of the Bond, and that is Wayne Bond currently, and he's got Wilfred Robson right behind him. Michael Struvic is now battling with Paul Fenter. Oh, Michael Struvic has actually just lost 2 places, and that's through both Paul and Kieran Duplessis. So guys, if you have just joined us, you have come in the last 5 minutes of the 2 heats. It has been absolutely a frantic racing here this evening. A few incidents that we will definitely have to go and review. But once we've gone around the first lap or so, the racing has been absolutely incredible.
Wow. Terry Wilfred persisted out of that battle, and I think he made up another place, if I'm not mistaken.
So I was scanning because Mahat is still within a second of Ryan. Christian currently in 3rd place. We've got Nicholas coming back for 4th place there for him. I'm sure he would have been very happy with the win out in front. Whoa, Mr. Worship got one of the Hanukkah brothers right up behind him.
I don't know what's happening here at SARCO, but we've got a Grecian worship and we've got a revelation. I don't know what's happening here.
Oh, goodness.
Things are getting biblical here on these races. It's epic.
Well, I think once talent starts becoming questionable, all you've got is a prayer, right?
Yeah.
So Kieran right on the back of Mr. Paul Fenter. So 3 minutes left to go. Oh, Serodio and Steyn.
Oh, there was an incident. Serodio let Steyn go there, so I assume Serodio thought he was maybe went in a little hot here somewhere.
Yeah, so that is now coming towards. Ooh, that was very, very close there. So now just in the braking zone there into 8.
Same corner, same thing, a little bit hot in there. That corner entices you to do that. It's a very tricky corner. We've seen a couple of exactly the same incidents there.
And with 2 laps left to go, all it's done is it's brought Van Zyl, Fenter and Duplessis into this battle here for the guys that are now battling it out for 7th and 8th place. So it's going to be very interesting all the way to the end.
Yeah, it's actually very, very close. The top 3 is right by. Oh, Paul Fenter going a little bit deep there, getting a little nudge.
Just want to see what happened there because I just brought up that Kieran and Paul had a bit of a contact there.
Oh, Paul got a little bit out of shape there. Looks like he's struggling with that rear tires.
So Kieran had it. Oof, yeah, didn't go back enough.
Yeah, it looked like Paul's struggling a little bit. Maybe that rear tires are overheating a bit, especially the left side. Looked like he was struggling on the throttle.
So, fastest man on the track.
He's under big pressure. We can still see a top 3 change here. We now on the last lap.
This is the last lap, and what we have, ladies and gentlemen, is the battle for 1st, 2nd and 3rd place. There's Orion Ottens just in front of the screen. We've got Bjerkes now in front. I hope he knows that this is the race leaders. So Birkus now getting the blue flags, getting very well out of the way there. And that is a first, a second, and a third place coming through. Musa just defending that inside line there from deploy. But is there going to be the almighty lunge through turns 8 and 9?
Musa going defensive. I think he thought the deploy was a little bit closer there. And it's all going to be down to the last 3 corners. From that hairpin down, from corner 30.
And there's Serodio and Kieran also having a great battle there for 8th and 9th, but we are just going to keep it here. It does look like this is how they will end.
Yes, well done to Ottens, taking the top spot with Musa in second and Deploy a very close third. Great battle.
So
now
that's...
we have Heineke right on the back of Worship as well, going for that last push before the line.
Come on!
Staying right behind him. Oh. Alright.
Flip. Okay, so let's just run through here quickly. So it's Moath in second place, Christian third, Nicholas fourth, Worship fifth, Chris Heineke sixth, Marcus Dane seventh, Andre eighth, Kewen 9, Flip 10, Paul 11, Michael 12, Jude comes home in 13th place, Neil 14th, Wilfred, he's coming through the last corner and now. He across the line 15th place with Ruan Heineke just ahead of Wayne Bond. Jubs in 18th place. We then got a genre in 19th place. Memor 20th. Terry 21. Stephen 22nd. Len 23rd. Adrian 24th. And Shoal.
He went into the pit somewhere along the line.
It's got him as a not completed.
Yeah, so he had horrible luck in the first race, and in the second race it seems the same. Well, this was 2 very, very tight races, very, very tight battles going on.
So now we're just going to do the quick calculations, and let's get the guys in the chat. And we will be back with you shortly. Right, guys, we're just waiting for the drivers to join us in the chat. We have called them, but essentially the overall winner for the day was Ryan Oaten's. Great result there for him. A second place plus a first there for him gives him 57 points for the day. Then a Christian, great result there for him. 52 points, two third places in a row. And then Mr. Worship, 2 third places. Don't get that wrong. No. Anyway, gentlemen, where are you? We want to come and have a little chat. So we've got Ryan that's joined us. We're just looking for a Christian and... I must say, just in terms of the points, it was extremely close because Rodeo and Marcus Stein finishing off on the same point count, and that was only a few points off Mr. Worship there. Ryan, while you're here, all I can say is welcome to SARCO. I hope that you've enjoyed your first race there. Man, oh man, it didn't. The racing didn't look easy there, even though it was quite enjoyable from our side.
Yeah, how's it, Dylan? Yeah, it was a cool first race at SARCO. I mean, it was quite crazy, and I love the format. I love the reverse grid. It makes for a lot of fun racing. So yeah, thanks to you guys for putting it on. It was very cool.
No, only a pleasure. We do like to mix things up, and I know there was some comments. Guys are talking with us, changing a few things as we go, but I promise you, once the calendar's set, we don't really like to change it too often. But we'll see for the next season, we'll figure something out. So awesome. Not too sure where all the other gentlemen are. So it looks like we might have to just keep the interviews done and dusted there. I believe that it was actually Christopher Radloff that invited you to come and join us. Do you know if he had load shedding at all this evening, which is the reason why he didn't join us?
I actually just messaged him and shouted at him. He has been watching the stream. I'm sure he's on right now because he congratulated me. And I said, well, where were you? And he said, no, he's actually been getting sick all day. So that's why he didn't make it,
yes, like Mr. Flat Out, that's not cool, eh?
Yeah, flat out excuses.
Yes, that's going to be the title of your sex tape, Mr. Radloff.
You should have come and sweated it out, man.
No, 100%. Yeah. And I must definitely take my hat off there to Paul Fenter. Man, he was in the battles the entire race. I'm sure he's the one that's definitely going to need a couple of shots. Guys, to everyone that joined us on the stream, thank you so much. We really do appreciate all the support you guys have given us. Just remember, next week we change the format once again. We then still have the one lap qualifier. We then go to Barcelona. Only 2 sets of tires though, and that is for your qualifying, your practice, and the race. So it's all about making sure you don't scrub that first set. And one mandatory pit stop. All you need to do is drop in a little bit of fuel. So everybody, thank you very, very much. A big thank you as well to Marius that joined me in the commentary box. I know that he was on load shedding this evening, so had a limited access to what he could see. To our lead sponsors, and those Orion Shopfitters, guys, thank you very much for your support, guys. Go check them out on the socials. The details are in the descriptions. Go check them out. A big thank you to NAG for those practice servers. We promise we'll get the names right. We are going to Barcelona. We won't get that wrong. Misano, Monza, I can understand how that mistake had happened, but we live and learn. To MSR that have supplied us with the equipment to help with the stream, and as well as to all the drivers. Without you guys, we wouldn't have had such a crazy full grid. So guys, thank you very much. All I can say is keep practicing, keep racing. We'll see you next week